Hi, welcome to Bella's Yoga Room. Today we have a connecting with our core, connecting with our center. So we are going to be working on the abdominals, but we are going to be stretching the whole body as well. We're going to be going into it gently, keeping it nice and slow. So again, this is your home practice. Take modifications, take breaks as much as you need to. I've got my ponytail up nice and high. And yeah, let's get started. We will be starting on our backs, so just making your way down. Let's bring the feet, soles of the feet together, just letting the knees open up nice and wide. And if this feels really strong, you can always bring those feet further away from the body. The closer in those feet are going to be, the more intense that opening in the hips. So just taking what your body needs today. Closing the eyes. Got my hands just resting on my tummy. And if you would like to place the hands on the tummy, we're just going to do 3 nice big diaphragmatic belly breaths. So the idea of this is that we are really trying to push down and fill up our lungs all the way completely so that our diaphragm is coming down. That means our tummy is going to stick out, which not everybody loves, but this is how we breathe. This means that we're getting lots and lots of oxygen in our lungs, which is always good. So with hands on the belly, it can be easy sometimes to have like the middle fingers touching just over the belly button. And as you inhale, see if you can breathe into that tummy and allow the pointer fingers to separate. And then as you exhale, allow the belly to fall, and hopefully those fingers should touch again. Inhaling again, expanding, breathing into that belly. And then as you exhale, allow the belly to fall. Last time here, let's do a nice deep breath in. And exhaling. Beautiful. Okay, if the eyes are closed, let's open them. Let's bring our hands to the outsides of our knees, hugging those knees in nice. And with your knees hugged in like this, I want you to think and notice that sensation of your lower back flat on the ground, making that contact. So we are going to be really trying to focus on that feeling. So if at any stage over the next few moves you notice that you're starting to, there's like a bridge there, nope, let's bring those knees back over because we don't want to be straining the lower back. Okay. So allowing the knees to just come, and just as you just notice here, even as you like push those knees away, you might and you should hopefully feel that core turning on. Okay, hands next to the body, palms can be face down. You might even want to grab that yoga mat as an option as well. Trying to think about creating a nice 90-degree angle here with the hips and a 90-degree angle there with the knees. So you could just stay here, keep on breathing, noticing just that the core muscles it's taking just to hold up those legs. Or you might start to tap one toe down, and then bring it back up. Really, again, nice and slow here. Oof. Little movements. Keep breathing here. Nice and slow. Waking up that core. Hello. And if you're not really feeling this, you can always bring those knees out a bit further just to increase that resistance there, a little bit more of gravity. Whew! Feel that one. Like I'm getting a cramp in my toes as well. Let's just ease off. Whew. A few more here. You're doing great. And again, really thinking about that lower back, kissing that mat. 2 more. And 2. Whew. Love that. Whew. Nice deep breaths. Turning on that core, that solar plexus. That's where our, all our gut is, which is so good at looking after us as well, communicating with our brain. Important to listen to. Okay, next round, we're going to do some little modified bicycles. So if your neck is just not feeling this today, you can just keep the shoulders on the ground. So again, we're going to come to that knees at a 90-degree angle, and this time allowing one leg to straighten out and then coming back in. And it can either sort of hover above or you can tap it down if you need. So you might just be here, alternating legs, or if you would like to add in the arms and engaging that core, the upper core as well, making sure that you're not crunching your head down. You don't want to be looking at your, tummy or groin. You want to be looking up at the ceiling. Keep those elbows nice and wide and then crossing over. Inhale to come in, exhale as you cross. Couple more here. Fantastic. Oh, let's bring those knees in again. Oh, a couple little maybe circles going one way and the other way. Oh, excellent. Let those feet fall down on the mat. Let's extend out that right leg, and then let's bring that in for a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So hugging behind the thigh, bending that right knee as much as you need to. You can also have like a towel to wrap around to bring that in, a bit of extra length there. You can straighten out that left leg too. So just finding that modification. You can also sort of bring the chin up too, a little bit more, sort of noticing, feeling that core there, or you can just rest the head as well. All right, if that left leg is out, let's bring that back. And we're going to cross that right ankle over the left knee. Breathing into that right hip here. And uncrossing, allowing that left leg nice and long, hugging that in now. Rotating that ankle, that feels nice for you. Extending out that right leg. It's really normal for different legs to have different flexibility and for it to also change day to day, depending on what you've been doing, depending on how you're feeling. Bringing that right foot back up to the ground if it's not already, and then crossing that left ankle over that right knee, pushing that left knee away, opening up into that left hip. Nice deep breaths here. Beautiful. All right, we're going to do a little bit of rocking up. Now, if that doesn't work for you, just come up into a seated position. But if you do like to rock and roll up along the mat, then you can either maybe hug behind the knees. You might cross the legs over and grab the big toes. And so we are going to be creating a little bit of momentum and using that core to sort of come up onto our shoulders and then into a seated position. And so you can do a few of these rolls. But you could also be holding behind the knees if that feels more secure, and to help you get that momentum coming up. Couple more. And this time, we'll do a couple more rolls, but we're going to see if we can come into a boat pose, okay? And I might even collapse too, so it's okay. This is all just a bit of fun. Ready? So I'm going to roll backwards, and then thinking about that core. Oh! And you can still grab on behind the knees as well. Thinking again, nice straight backs. Whew. Fantastic. All right, sorry for those of you who are sitting. We'll come into boat again. That's just a little bit of fun. Okay. So the correct way to get into boat, if you're not rolling around on the floor, really make sure you're sitting up on those sit bones. So you should feel them connecting with the ground. Rolling those shoulders back, holding maybe behind those knees. And really thinking again, nice straight line. Hopefully you can see a nice straight line from my head all the way to where my tail would be if I had one, which I don't. And then lifting up. So lifting up the toes then. Okay, so staying here. And again, you should start to feel that core turning on. Or you might want to let go, see if you can, that little challenge of yourself here. Again, really trying to maintain that nice, strong, straight line. And you can also add a nice straight legs. Woo! Hello, core. Keep breathing. Oh, lovely. Great job. Oh, let's roll over. Okay. Hands under the shoulders. Knees under our hips. I'm going to come and do a few of those cat-cows. So opening up that chest and exhale, curling through the back. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. All right. Coming back to our nice neutral straight spine. And we're going to tuck those toes. And we're going to be hovering those knees. So on your next inhale, lift those knees up off the ground. Feel that core. Keep breathing. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Fantastic. All right, let's come off those toes. Going to bring the toes to touch. Allow the knees to come nice and wide. Let's come back into an extended child's pose. You deserve it. Bringing that bottom all the way back and allowing the arms. Nice deep breaths here. And then coming up. Bringing the knees back in line together. Allowing the elbows, one elbow to come down where the hand was and then the other. And maybe wiggling those knees back a little bit, coming into a puppy pose. So again, this is a bit of a heart opener here. Just resting on that forehead. Really trying to keep those arms nice and parallel to each other. And then coming forward and just slowly allowing the belly to come down and coming into our Sphinx position. So elbows underneath the shoulders. Opening up and feeling that stretch in the tummy. Nice soft face. Feeling that expansion as you breathe into the belly. And then allowing the elbows to come out wide and allowing the forehead to rest gently on top of the backs of the palms. And here as we lie down on our tummy, you might want to bring the big toes to touch and just allow sort of the hips to fall in. We're going to come back to that diaphragmatic breath we did at the start. So again, I want you to really try as you inhale to think about sending the breath all the way down into the tummy, and then exhale, feeling that movement. So you're going to be creating a bit of a ride here. Let's inhale again. Feel that belly and exhale. Last time here. Inhaling and exhale. Feel that fall. Fantastic. All right, let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck those toes underneath. And you can either come up into our all fours position, or you want to go nice and strong, thinking about engaging that core again, squeezing the knees, the whole body. You come up into a nice plank position here. And if you were in tabletop, please come and join me in a plank. And we're just going, you can either again stay here in planks, option 1, or we're going to maybe cross over one knee. So bringing that opposite knee to opposite elbow. Two more on each side. Really thinking about that nice straight line, squeezing that core. And then let those knees fall. This time in our child's pose, allow those knees to touch. And let's bring the hands all the way back down behind us to meet the toes. Reconnect with that breath. Wonderful. Coming back up. Coming to a nice seated position here. Give those legs a bit of a shake out. Nice bend here. Again, thinking nice and tall in that spine. And then folding forward. Toes can be pointed or flexed. You can have a little play, see what feels best for you there. Can always have a cushion here or a pillow to bring those knees up a bit higher if that's comfortable. Big deep breaths. We're cooling down. Coming back up, rolling those shoulders back. Let's hug that right knee up, allowing those feet to be on the ground, hugging that left elbow around the right knee, and then coming into a little twist, looking over that right shoulder maybe, if that's comfortable for you. Getting that twist into all those organs. And coming back. Let that right leg be long. Hug in that left knee. Again, still thinking nice and long in the spine. Hugging that right elbow around the left knee and twisting over to the left side. Coming back to center. And again, we're returning to our backs. And making your way down any way that's comfortable and safe for you. And before we get into our Shavasana, we're gonna do a little bit of a side twist, side stretch. So I'd like you to put your left foot sort of more towards the edge of your left mat. Maybe wiggle your right hip a little bit closer to that right edge of the mat. I'm going to cross over the right ankle over the left, and then you're going to grab your right wrist with your left hand, creating like a crescent moon shape. Feeling that stretch here in the right side. And then slowly coming out of that. Wiggling maybe the bottom a bit over, allowing the right foot to come to the edge of the right mat, crossing the left foot over the right ankle, and then grabbing that left wrist with the right hand, and then pulling that up to the top right hand corner. Now getting that left side body stretch. Last deep breath here. And coming back to center. Uncrossing those legs. Just making any adjustments you need to get comfortable here for your Shavasana. And I would invite you maybe to keep your hands resting on the belly. We're not going to do any more of our diaphragmatic breathing, but that just might be a nice anchor point as you close your eyes. And just allow the body to be still. Noticing maybe that subtle movement of the breath. Giving that recognition and gratitude for your body. Working, doing some different stretches, some different strengthening exercises. I'm so proud of you for showing up. And feel free to stay here in Shavasana as long as time allows. Once you've sent some good vibes to your body, some thanks, feel free to maybe start wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers. Maybe deepening the breath. Bringing the knees up over to one side, pushing up, coming to meet in a seated position. Maybe opening the eyes when you're ready. Okay, well, thanks so much for practicing. Let me know how you found the practice. And as always, thank you so much for your time. And have a fabulous day. Bye.